Hey everybody, welcome to My Physical World, where we talk about everything science. Okay? Science, engineering, that kind of stuff. This channel also has Microsoft Flight Simulator related content, primarily scenery design. Okay? Um, but today's topic is understanding what is real and how to figure out if it's fake on the internet. So much bad science is going on the internet. Today I'm just gonna show you an example of how easy it is to find out if something is true or not. It's just that we cannot be lazy and take everything that we see as real science. Now, the picture that's on the screen isn't the topic of today, but it's just an example. You would look at this picture and say, oh, that's great. And if I posted this picture, I would get so many comments on how pretty the Earth is and, you know, the spacecraft that took it and all this kind of stuff. But I made this picture. This is CGI. This is the logo for My Physical World. This is a model Earth that I made in Blender. And I use it as my profile picture for My Physical World. On my Twitter account, my Instagram account, even on my Facebook page, it's there, okay? But it's not real. It is not the real Earth from space. And I tell people that. I do not say that. I never tell people that this is real. Okay? Now, you're going to see a lot of this kind of stuff, and people are going to just be so fascinated by the perception that things like this are real. On my Facebook page of the same name, My Physical World, the other day I'm doing some animations of the solar system to do some teaching of the different, planets and stuff in the solar system for kids or whatever. And I'm animating a lot of the planets, primarily showing the different artificial satellites that are orbiting those planets, such as Landsat on Earth, the Mars Reconnaissance Rover, Orbiter, Magellan, Cassini, that kind of stuff. Anyway, those are going to all be animations, because obviously we can't actually see those instruments orbiting the Earth. We can see the results of those instruments orbiting the planet. Okay? But the one that we're going to talk about today is looking at the latest. This is the Velo Amir Aqueduct in the Netherlands. It is a engineering feat in itself. Everybody understands that, well, most people understand that a lot of the land area in the Netherlands has been reclaimed from the ocean, or the North Sea, or whatever you want to call it. So just the Netherlands themselves is an engineering feat of reclaiming land from the sea. Okay? And they built these unique engineering structures. This one happens to be known as a water bridge, and it connects two lakes that allow small watercraft to cross from one lake to the other over one of their major highways. I believe it's the N302, I think. But in question is this video down here. And there's a couple other videos as well. But this video, and I have this video, it's kind of a mirror image of this one, but it shows this massive ocean cruise ship passing through the aqueduct. And my science brain got me thinking, saying, that's just not right. Well, the first thing that caught my eye was the size of it, not really the size of the ship and the aqueduct. What caught my eye was the size of the ship and the vehicles on the road. If this was true, these vehicles would have to be some of the largest vehicles ever built. Okay? Now, let's take a look. Let's see if I can find the video version of that image. Okay? And I'm not going to say the name of the site, but you could probably see the picture, the name of the site. But this is the animation. And I'm not going to play it. Okay, I'm just going to slide it. But you're going to notice they have an animation of the ship going through the aqueduct. Okay, first thing that caught my eye, like I said, to say that this is bad science, again, is the size of the ship in relationship to the actual vehicles on the road. Those would have to be some extremely large vehicles. Alright. Second is just the quality of the animation. Lousy animation. Even I can do better than that. But the ship is two-dimensional. There's just no contrast. There's no thought into the direction of the light. Okay, shadows, nothing. All right. Plus the wakes, just the wakes of the ship itself. The bow, they would be going, if this aqueduct was truly large enough for this ocean, this cruise ship to go through, it would be going through so slow because of the narrowness that the bow wake would not necessarily be that dramatic. Okay, plus you would see the wakes coming out further. Okay, but the stern wake is what really caught me, because it never changes at all. It's the same thing. The tail edge just completely disappears as it goes along. Okay, this ship would be so large that the disturbance in the water would continue for quite a long time. Okay, plus if this ship was truly going through this aqueduct, just the displacement of the water in this narrow pathway, that water would actually rise because of the displacement of the ship. If you ever watch any videos of people standing on the shore in a narrow inlet when a large container ship or something's going through, it actually creates mini tsunamis because of the displacement of the water. I encourage you guys to find videos like that and see what I'm talking about. All right, now, with my suspicions, what did I do? Well, first of all, I wanted to find what ship they're trying to model going through this aqueduct. And through some work, I started finding, general ships. And I came across this ship right here. Because this ship, when I look at it, matches all of the elements of this ship: the color of the stack, the color of the lifeboats, the shape of the front, the shape of the back. Okay, and I deciphered that that ship that they're modeling is the same class as the Costa Venecia. Okay, if I said that wrong, let me know. Okay, not necessarily that particular ship, but the ship of the Vista class itself. All right, and I'm interested in the class of ship, not necessarily the exact same ship. All right, but I deduced that it is part of the Vista class. And let's take a look at some dimensions of the Vista class cruise ship. Okay, so the ship itself is 323.6 meters long. Its width at its widest point, known in ship language, the beam of the ship, is 37.2 meters. And the draft, or the draw, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is 8.55 meters. All right, the draft of a ship is the depth of the ship in the water. So it's from the water line to the lowest portion of the ship. Okay, that's the draft. And in this case, it's 8.55 meters. So we know we know the ship. Okay, we can deduce the ship. Just the weight of the ship, the displacement of water is 135,000 tons. Okay, extremely large. Heavier, I believe that's heavier than a United States Navy aircraft carrier, or it's pretty close. It's not as long as an aircraft carrier. It's almost as long. U.S. aircraft carriers are almost, well, they're 1,100 feet. Okay, so this ship is huge. Okay. Now there's container ships that are much larger than that. So we know the size of the ship. Now let's take a look at the actual aqueduct itself. The aqueduct itself is 25 meters long, and it's 19 meters wide. And it has a depth of 3 meters. Okay, the water depth is 3 meters. It's like 9.8 feet. So let's take a look at another image that I created to show the proportions. So here's that image that was animated. It's a screenshot of that animation. All right. And here's the ship that they have in there. But the aqueduct is 19 meters wide, and the ship in reality is 37 meters wide. So that's how much space that ship would take in terms of its width. Now this photo, I mean this image, I wouldn't say it's a photo, but let's call it a photo for now. This photo, I couldn't even get the length of the ship in it, all right? Because from here to here is 25 meters. So I probably have another 25 meters on either side, so that's 50 meters. And the length of the ship, remember, was over 320 meters, all right? So the Vista class cruise ship would not come close to fitting going over this aqueduct. So what am I saying? Use simple observational science when you guys are seeing images and videos from science or news channels. Okay, don't always believe it in first sight. This one didn't take me long to say there's something wrong, and it only took me about 10 minutes to do all of this this work. Okay? Now, did I have to spend so much brain power? No, I didn't, because it doesn't affect me in my daily life. It's just one of those little science pet peeves that I have, that I don't like the perception that people are giving, especially if they call themselves a science page, group, or whatever. You're going to see a lot of other ones. I do a lot of physical Earth analysis. I do that with geographic information systems. You know, volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, all that kind of stuff. So I'm constantly looking at satellite imagery. And I had one the other day that showed from a site that says that they are a science group or a science page, especially on Facebook, but it said the Himalayas from space, and Mount Everest was like sticking out of the atmosphere in this image, and it was just really annoying. Okay? And you know, as a scientist, I said, no, this ain't right. Anyway, use your brains. Don't be lazy and accept everything that comes across. Evaluate all images and videos that you see. CGI, the people doing CGI today are phenomenal in their abilities to create art with three-dimensional software and all that kind of stuff, such as Blender, which I use every day. It's amazing to see those artists and what they can do. And it's getting harder and harder to discern what is true in a photo and what is not. Okay? But use science. This was simple. This, like I said, took 10 minutes for me to draw these lines on this image and create all these PNGs and put them together. Some things are going to be easy to do like this. Some things are going to take a lot longer. All right? But in everything that you do, in remote sensing, doesn't matter. If you are involved with a science page, group, organization, you know, look at the data, look at the information that you're reading, and study it and analyze it. Peer review it, you know, to get the truth, to make sure it's true. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Please continue. Come back to My Physical World for more content like this and more science related stuff. Even if you want to see some of the flight simulator scenery that we develop, please subscribe to My Physical World. Hit the notification bell. Make comments. Comment. Let's talk about all this stuff. And if you feel inclined to support me, you can buymeacoffee.com/myphysicalworld. I hope you guys have a great day. I know that this was probably more fun than it was anything. I just like doing this kind of stuff to see what people are doing. I don't usually debunk things on this channel. I don't like to take that much brain power, but I debunk it for myself. But use your brain. Use that scientific brain that you have. And have fun. And I will see you guys on the next video. We'll see you later.